All right, we're going to jump right in. So our first equation is 5x plus 2 equals 10. So our first step, we want to draw the line down through the equal sign. Then we want to get rid of anything that does not have a variable first. So we want to get rid of this plus 2. So we want to be thinking, what's the opposite of plus 2? That would be minus 2. So we're going to subtract 2 on both sides. We're going to cancel that out. And we're left with 5x equals 8. When we go ahead and divide, because 5 times x, the opposite of times 5 is dividing by 5. So we're going to divide by 5 on both sides. When we type that in on our calculator, 8 divided by 5 is either 1.6, or if you wanted to put it as a fraction, 1 6/10. Example 2, we have 2x plus 3 equals 12. Again, draw the line down through the equal sign. We want to get rid of the number in our expression that does not have a variable, so that will be our plus 3. So we're going to do the opposite of plus 3, so we are going to subtract 3 on both sides. When we subtract 3, those 3's cancel, and we're left with 2x equals 12 minus 3, which is 9. We're then going to 2 times x, so the opposite of times 2 would be dividing by 2. When I divide 9 by 2, 9 divided by 2 is equal to 4.5, or 4 1/2. Example 3, we have 12x minus 10 equals 14. Again, we want to get rid of the number that does not have the variable. So we have minus 10. The opposite of minus 10 would be adding 10. You are just using the opposite. So the opposite of minus or subtraction is addition. So we're going to add 10 on both sides. I'm left with 12x equals 24. 12x is 12 times x. So I'm going to divide by 12 on both sides. So x would be equal to 2. Example 4. So I have x divided by 4 minus 2 equals 3. Draw the line through the equal sign. Get rid of, on this side of our equation, get rid of anything that does not have the variable. So that will be our minus 2. The opposite of minus 2 would be plus 2. So we're going to add 2 on both sides. The 2's cancel, and then 3 plus 2 is 5. We're left with x divided by 4, and x divided by 4 is equal to 5. This is a division sign. So what is the opposite of division? The opposite of division is multiplication. So if we're dividing by 4, that means we need to multiply by 4 on both sides. These 4's cancel, and I'm left with x equals 20. Example 5, again, line through the equal sign. We want to get rid of anything without the variable, so that would be the 6. This is a positive 6, so to get rid of a positive 6, or to undo a positive 6, we use the opposite. The opposite of positive 6 is negative 6, so we're going to subtract 6 on both sides. These cancel. I'm left with 1/4 x equals, and then I'm going to do 2 minus 6 on my calculator, and I get negative 4. With that, I'm now going to look at what's happening between my 1/4 and my x. Just because that's a fraction, it's still multiplication. It doesn't change anything. So the opposite of multiplying is dividing. So I'm going to divide negative 4 divided by 1/4 on both sides. And then I'm going to type in negative 4 divided by 1/4 on my calculator. And I'm going to get that x equals negative 16. example 6, we have 1/2 x plus 3 equals 7. So once we take, again, we're going to draw the line through the equal sign. We're going to get rid of the number that does not have the variable, so we're going to get rid of plus 3 by subtracting 3, because that's the opposite on both sides. 1/2 x equals 7 minus 3, which is 4. I have 1/2 x, which is 1/2 times x. So to get rid of times 1/2, we're going to divide by 1/2 on both sides. My 1/2s cancel, and I'm left with x equals, and then I'm going to do 4 divided by 1/2, which is equal to 8. So x would be equal to 8. 2 more. So we have 5 minus 1/3 x equals 11. Again, we're going to draw the line. We're going to get rid of this 5 first. This 5 is a plus 5, so the opposite of plus 5 or positive 5 would be negative 5 or minus 5. So we're going to subtract 5 on both sides. This becomes 6. Now I need to be careful because this is a subtraction sign, which means that this whole thing is negative 1/3 x. And negative 1/3 x equals 6. So again, this minus sign, because if we were doing this, doing combined expressions, combined terms, we would change this to plus negative 1/3 x. So this is where we get that negative 1/3 x. So now we need to think negative 1/3 times x. So opposite of multiplication is division. And we're going to divide by negative 1/3 on both sides. Those 1/3s cancel. So I have x equals 6 divided by negative 1/3. Make sure you're keeping that negative sign. And I would get that x is equal to negative 18.